Record Store Day 2020, Drop 1, done. Ahoy hoy everybody, and welcome to my second recording of this video, because for some reason my phone rebooted whilst I was about 5-10 minutes into doing it. No idea why. Battery's fine, storage is fine, pass. So I'm going to get serious deja vu at the start of this. Anyway, today is August 29th and it is Record Store Day Drop 1. So for those of you who aren't familiar with Record Store Day, this is a special day. It's normally held in April, where to support independent local record stores, there's a few hundred limited edition, mainly vinyl, but some CD and cassette releases as well. Releases that are only available or only released on that day. Just one pressing. Once they're gone, they're gone. So it's first come, first served, limited to one person each. And there's often, you know, stores only get 1 or 2 copies of a lot of the stuff. It was, as I say, meant to be in April. It was postponed because of COVID to June. Again, it was postponed again to COVID, and what they've done is split it over 3 months. So today was Drop 1, where most of the titles were released. Then at the end of September, there's another drop where fewer, but still a couple, about 100 or so, I think it is, titles are released. And then in October was the same again, and a smaller amount, but still a substantial one. When I first saw the list, I wasn't overly impressed, but I think that was largely because there was no prints on it this year. But when I looked at it again, there was actually, I got it to 15 titles that I really wanted. Couple of maybes, a strong maybe and a less strong maybe. Last year I got there about 5:15 and I was third in the queue, so I thought I'd get up a bit earlier this year and hopefully get first in the queue. So I got up at 4 o'clock this morning, left home after having showered, etc., and I got to Heathen Chemistry, which is my local Record Store Day shop in Fareham, and I got there about 22, 5:45. Unfortunately, I was 6th in the queue. There were 5 people who got there before me. Front of the queue had got there at 3 o'clock, and then the guy who was directly in front of me, 5th in the queue, he'd got there at 4:20. So I was a bit gutted, but I wasn't overly concerned regarding getting the titles, because the chances of everybody in front of me wanting exactly the same as I had were slim. And thankfully I was successful. I got everything I wanted. As one of the first 10 in the queue, I received this year's limited edition Fred Perry tote bag, which I also got last year. And inside were, and I've only just discovered one of the things that was in there, so it's a good job I am re-recording this. It's a flyer for the next record fair. And then there is an exclusive Record Store Day face mask, which isn't great. It's a bit big and it doesn't hug your face or anything, but it will do in an emergency. And what I've just discovered is a little pin badge for the artist John Verity. Heathen Chemistry is run by 2 guys, Simon and Steve. Steve also has a successful social media promotions business, and he represents quite a few bands and artists doing their social media for them, one of whom is John Verity. John Verity donated 5 copies of his latest album, which went in the first 5 bags, so I missed out on that by 1 person, which is annoying, but I've just spotted that bag in there. But as I say, was successful. They were meant to open at 8, they actually started letting us in at 1:45. It's all very well run. Simon was letting people in, Steve was helping you find stuff, and we had a couple of staff members manning the till and packing for you. But yeah, as I say, got everything I wanted. So this first up, I haven't opened these, but this first one I have opened because I'd already started the video before, as I say. So the first one, this was my strong maybe. I could have got my other maybe, but I decided not to. But this is Al Green is Blues, or Al what is it? It's Green is Blues by Al Green. Anyway, I don't own any Al Green, but I love his voice. I love his style of music. You know, soulful, bluesy, funky. He does it all. I think this is his debut LP. I'm not 100% on that. The clincher for me on it was the fact it is on split coloured vinyl. Very pretty. Happy with that. And inside, what I thought was a download code, but actually turns out to be, gotta get it out again now. It's on High Records through Fat Possum Records, and it's an old school postcard type thing for Fat Possum Records, which you don't see nowadays. Interestingly on this, and I use the word interestingly quite wrongly, no actual mention of record store day on the blurb, it just says 50th anniversary limited edition. Next up is the Bowie releases, and it was shortly after this point that it crashed last time, so fingers crossed. So there were 2 Bowie releases this year. Both were on vinyl and CD. I bought both of them on both formats, reason being, at the moment my Bowie collection is nearly all CD. All I have on vinyl is last year's 2 Record Store Day releases, and Hunky Dory, and the Is It Any Wonder EP, which I was going to get on both formats, but the CD had sold out by the time I did it. The cat scratching the door, bear with me. So everything else I have on CD. So I wanted to get the CDs because of that, but I also wanted to get the vinyl because I know over the years I will get the vinyl eventually for all his albums. So I didn't want to miss out on these and think in 5 years' time, oh, I wish I'd got those. So first up we have Changes Bowie. This is the CD version. And Willow's come to help. Where are you going? Let's see what she does. This is the CD version. So Changes Bowie is a 9-track live recording. What are you doing? That's it. Of a show he put on for the BBC to celebrate his 50th birthday. And this is where I was in the middle of opening it when it crashed. So it contains Man Who Sold the World, Aladdin Sane, White Light, White Heat, Shopping for Girls, Lady Stardust, The Supermen, Repetition, Andy Warhol and Quicksand. So a nice, you know, it's not the obvious tracks on there. Oh, I'm trying to get it out and save the image I did. This is released through War Child. I presume they're getting some of the money for it. There's a couple of U2 ones, also a War Child release, which I did not buy. It's one CD, but it's in a nice digipack. And there's the disc. As I say, I also got it on vinyl. Let's get into this. Okay, so out as much the same. Nice picture that isn't in the CD booklet. It's just on black vinyl. Nice minimalist label. Looking forward to listening to that. What are you doing, cat? And the other Bowie release was I'm Only Dancing the Soul Tour 74. So on the Diamond Dogs tour in 74, about halfway through, there was a little break in the tour and he completely redid the tour. He sort of discovered soul, he was getting into the Young Americans groove, and he completely redid the tour and basically turned it into a little soul review style tour. And this is a recording from that latter half that's never been released before. The bulk of it is from Detroit on the 20th of October 74, but the encores are from Nashville on the 30th of November. So that they could include Diamond Dogs, which wasn't performed at Detroit, and also some other tracks. Let's get into this. So this is 2 CDs, being a live show. this will obviously be a lot easier to read on the vinyl, so we will look at it in more detail then. That's CD 1 and 2. So the vinyl is a gatefold, so I shall endeavour to slide it out the sleeve so I can keep the Record Store Day sticker. Cue fast forward while I try and get this out. Okay, so here we go. So there you can see the track listing. And the gatefold. So Luther Vandross was one of the backing singers at this time. Credits. And inner sleeve, plain but polylined, which is nice. So again, just black vinyl. Oh, and what's nice is that the pattern, if you like, carries on the inside. There's number 3 and 4. And the sun's right in my eyes. I might pause for 5 minutes while the sun moves. I'm going to make myself another coffee. And I'll be back. Okay, it hasn't moved far, but I'll pull the curtain across. Next up is a 12-inch single, and this is going to have the reward for the least impressive product aesthetically. Just in a sleeve, no sticker or anything on it or anything. This is Georgio Merode featuring Kylie Minogue, hence my purchase. Right here, right now, 12-inch on silver vinyl. So it's got a Kenny Summit Club Mix and a Kenny Summit Instrumental. So Kylie's only going to be on one side anyway, but sorry, cat. But I thought it would be a nice thing to have. So yes, silver vinyl, although it's more grey than silver. Normally silver vinyl's got a bit of a sheen to it, but this doesn't really. Yeah, definitely the least impressive of the releases, I think. Next up is... It's not even a good fit in the sleeve. Next up is Keen, and this is Night Train, which was an EP they released. Does it say on here? No. A few years ago. So let's see if I can find out. Night Train. Whilst that's coming up, yeah, it was a CD only EP they released in 2009, 10, May 2010. It had 8 tracks on it originally. This has been expanded, and there's 2 extra tracks, so it's basically a full album now. I mean, 8 tracks is pretty good for an EP. But yeah, like Keen a lot. I have all the albums on CD, don't have any of it on vinyl, but thought I would get this. Record Store Day exclusive, first time on vinyl, includes 2 bonus tracks, 180 gram transparent orange vinyl plus digital download card. Let's see what we get. So far these are all opening easily. So download card is Sound of Vinyl. I do use them, I download them and then add them onto my iPod. A little information sheet. These were recorded while they were on tour, so that's the studios they were recorded at. A nice poly-lined black sleeve, and that's what I was expecting. Nice transparent orange. Next, was an album that I didn't initially have on my list, but then gradually I changed my mind on it and decided to add it. It's The Kink Chronicles by the Kinks. That's right, isn't it? Yeah, The Kink Chronicles by the Kinks. So this was originally a US only compilation album of, it's sort of a greatest hits, but it's got album tracks as well and some US only mixes and things like that. So they've reissued it on red vinyl for Record Store Day, but the reason I sort of wasn't going to get it at first was because I am gradually getting all the Kinks albums, but then I thought no, and I've got a greatest hits on CD, but because this has got the exclusive mixes and what have you on it, and just it's nice to have a vinyl best of the Kinks, I decided I would get it. So yeah, it's 2 LPs, both red vinyl. Gatefold sleeve. Again, no actual mention of Record Store Day on the hype sticker, which is interesting. The other thing that has been noted elsewhere is a lot of the releases aren't numbered this year, and normally most of them are. So there we go, there's the track listing. So we've got everything you would really want, you know, Village Green Preservation Society, Waterloo Sunset, David Watts, Lola, Shangri-La, Autumn Almanac, Sunny Afternoon, King Kong, 8 Man, Days, and lots more besides. Gatefold of a nice article by John Mendelsohn about the Kinks. And then not polylined, a nice solid red vinyl. No download on that one. Going back, the Georgio Merode with Kylie, that was the only copy they had. I think that was the only Al Green, but I'm not entirely sure. This I'm really happy to have got. This is Love Will Keep Us Together by the Lottery Winners. Regular viewers will know I'm a big fan of the Lottery Winners. They're a up and coming band from up north. Sorry, I can't remember exactly where, but I saw them supporting Sleeper a couple of years ago, and they were easily one of the best support acts I've ever seen. Great songs, catchy Britpoppy-ish type songs, but great stage presence as well. The lead singer and songwriter Tom is just, to say he's a character is really undermining him. He's just a great front man, really funny. Yeah, highly recommend the Lottery Winners. They released their debut album earlier this year, and I'm waffling on while I try to get into this, which was in the UK Top 40. That's self-titled, and they've just released, which I own but I haven't listened to yet, Sounds of Isolation, which is an album of tracks they recorded through Zoom, basically, or whatever it is, you know, musicians use to do these sort of things. It's a load of cover versions that they put on the internet, and they've collated them and turned them into an album, and they're already working on their next album. But this is an exclusive track which I'm really struggling to get into, that they released during isolation digitally. This is the only physical release it's had. It's not on their album. Called, as I say, Love Will Keep Us Together, and the B-side is Young Again, which I don't think is on the album. It might say on here. Oh, at last. So a 7-inch single. I think it's in white vinyl. Yeah, white vinyl. So obviously it's a play on Love Will Tear Us Apart, Love Will Keep Us Together. So the cover is a heart done in the style of the Joy Division album cover. I can't remember if Young Again is on the album or not, I'll put it on the screen. Next up is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Now some of you will be saying, but Martin, you've got all the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy box sets. Yes, but... dramatic pause whilst he slept some coffee. These are different recordings. The box sets that I have are all the radio series. This is a reissue of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and Restaurant at the End of the Universe records, which were special recordings just for the records. So they're entirely different material, you know, no, not material, because the material is more or less the same, but none of the sounds on this are on those records, let me put it that way. It is the same cast and everything, but it is sort of edited versions as well to fit the whole book into however many records each one was. There's 3 discs in here, so I'm not entirely sure how many discs, whether Hitchhikers was 2 and Restaurant was 1, or vice versa. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the original albums, 2 unique recordings reissued at last. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and Restaurant at the End of the Universe, both albums in back-to-back gatefold, radio scripts adapted by Douglas Adams, 3 times 180 gram translucent vinyl, Vogon green, Magraphene blue and Pan-Galactic purple, exclusive to Record Store Day 2020, and this is to celebrate the 42nd anniversary of Hitchhikers, of course 42 being a very important number for Hitchhikers. So the classic Don't Panic, and then that was the cover for Restaurant. Oh, I see. So it's a single gatefold, if you like. So that is the Hitchhikers album cover, and that is the Restaurant album cover. So it looks like Hitchhikers is 1 disc and Restaurant is 2. Yeah, is it on both? Yeah, on both of these, Cindy Oswin plays Trillian rather than Susan Sheridan. So it's a sleeve for Hitchhikers, and this is the Vogon green. And then Restaurant, similar style. So that's the Magraphene blue. And this should be the Pan-Galactic purple. Oh yeah, that's nice. Yeah. So glad I managed to get that one. Again, I think we might have only had 1 copy of this. They always ask, you know, what are you after? And I put in my list, which all of these featured on, apart from Al Green, or one of Kinks. But that was back in March, so I wasn't entirely convinced that they'd still have my list. But no, they were good to their word and I got it all in. Next up is another comedy type release. So this is Monty Python and the Holy Grail, the album of the soundtrack of a trailer of the film of Monty Python and the Holy Grail, to give it its full title. This is Picture Disc, Record Store Day 2020, limited edition, exclusive, limited edition executive version plus bonus track. Typical Python, that's the front, and then it's upside down on the back. So you have to flip it over. I had this on vinyl, on normal vinyl, but I got the Life of Brian picture disc last year, so I thought I might as well continue with the series. Hopefully there'll be Meaning of Life next year, because I haven't got that on vinyl yet, so if I haven't got it in the meanwhile, that's the only Python album I haven't got on vinyl. That will complete the collection. So we have a sheet in it, with some lyrics, some script, and the track listing, and then the disc itself. So I don't know if you could quite tell, but it's a little die cut out of the Holy Grail there so you can see the Grail on the disc underneath. And a nice shot of the team whilst filming. It's a decent weight, so hopefully it will play okay. Picture discs are a lot better than they used to be, but they still have their moments. It's called the Executive Edition. That's a little joke that applies to every copy of Monty Python and the Holy Grail is the Executive Edition, and there's some blurb as part of the soundtrack that talks about it. Next up we have Pretenders. This is a live release, live at the Paradise Theatre, Boston, 1980. I think I have these tracks as part of a CD box set, but it's nice to have on vinyl. Big fan of Pretenders. Saw them live a couple of years ago and they were excellent. And this is on. Come out. Doesn't come out. That's better. Transparent with a red blob, and the red blobs are all different. I've seen videos of this release elsewhere on YouTube with different shapes, red blobs. This was the only copy they had, unless somebody in front of me had already picked up a copy, which is possible. Obviously Pretenders are quite a big band. Next up is Supergrass. This is a 10-inch of Caught by the Fuzz with 4 versions of that track on. 4-track limited edition 10-inch single, original single versions plus 1994 live version and 2020 remix. It's recycled 140 gram vinyl and sleeve. Each disc is unique. Previously unseen photos. So A-side contains the original version and an acoustic version. A B-side is Danny Goffey's 2020 remix and live at Bath Moles in 1994. I have all these tracks as part of a big Supergrass box set I own, but it's a nice little release to have. And it's nice to have another 10-inch, since I bought a load of 10-inch sleeves for so far 2 releases. It's another one to add to it. And it's got a proper inner sleeve. So they are previously unreleased photos from the Bath sessions, as they call them. And my copy is a sort of shitty sort of colour. I quite like it though. I'm not quite sure what you would call it. It's got a hint of pink about it, and brown and speckles. And yeah, interesting. As I say, it's recycled vinyl. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what you would call that colour, but I like it. I've seen the sort of the image on Supergrass's website is a red copy, so they are definitely varying rather dramatically. Yeah, happy to have that. Next up is an album I've only heard good things about, so when I saw that it was going to be a Record Store Day release, I thought I will grab that. This is Terry Hall's debut solo album, Home. First time on vinyl through Heavenly Recordings. Sort of old school fold back cover, which is nice. I think I know the... No, I don't. Yes, I think the track You might be one that he did with Lightning Seeds and they did a version of. But I might be wrong there. I know he wrote songs with Ian Brody. Browdy, whatever you say it. But yeah, even people who aren't big music fans love this album. So really interested to pick it up and see what it's like. Okay, we're in. No download or anything. Yeah, Terry Hall and Ian Brody. So I'm pretty certain it is the song that I'm thinking of, although the lyrics don't seem to match what I'm thinking of. Okay, we shall see. Sense, I think, also Lightning Seeds did. But yeah, looking forward to listening to that. I think it's just on black vinyl. Yes, it is. Oh, lots of static. Hat doesn't want to move. Got ya. Got ya. Chris Sharrock plays drums on this, who went on to drum with Robbie Williams and Oasis, amongst others. Two more. Next up is a Who release, Odds and Sods. Legendary Rarities album from 1974, expanded to 25 tracks. So this was a track compilation John Entwistle put together in 74 to sort of combat the bootleggers. Sort of rare bits and bobs that had appeared on bootlegs. They gave an official release to. Double LP on red and yellow, heavyweight coloured vinyl and die-cut sleeve. Features a 1979 single, Long Live Rock, an unreleased take of a Seeker, studio version of Young Man Blues, alternatives of Dogs Part 2 and Water, and many others. Cut at Abbey Road Studios using the half-speed mastering, exclusive for Record Store Day 2020. So, disc 1 is the original Odds and Sods album, and disc 2 they're calling Odds and Sods 2, TOO. It's got the extra bits on it. But as I am The Who are another band who I'm gradually getting all their albums, I thought I'd get this one since they're non-album tracks, so that I will be complete eventually. So let's get into it. Gatefolds are trying to keep the outer, so I've got the stickers. And as it mentioned, it's a die-cut sleeve. Ooh, we're popular. Postman's dropping loads of stuff through the letterbox. I'll be back. Postage delivered a 7-inch single for me. That's good. Still trying to get into this. We're in. Oh, I see. So that is an Obi. The track listing is underneath as well. Yeah, so it's die cut. There, and there. Nice gatefold with a band. Mid-destruction by the looks of it. So we have, oh, lots in here. We have one of those pointless half-speed mastering certificates. We have lyrics. We have disc 1, tells you about the tracks as well. By Pete Townsend. So it's a transparent red for Odds and Sods. And then Odds and Sods 2, which Andy Neal has done the sleeve notes for. Shame I couldn't have got Pete to do it. And that's on transparent yellow. And then the final one was one I nearly missed when I was doing the list. I think it was one that was added. I don't think it was on the original list because the title alone would have attracted me. This is a little EP on 2 7-inches called Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and it's the reinterpretations of all the songs Shirley Bassey recorded for the Bond films. And the reason I put it like that is that it also, Mr. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang was originally going to be the title track to Thunderball, or not the title track, the theme tune to Thunderball. They got Shirley to sort of do a demo version of it, but because she'd just done Goldfinger, they didn't want her to actually do the theme. Then Dionne Warwick recorded it properly, and that was going to be the theme, but then some producer decided actually they want the theme tune to be named the same as the film, so that's when they wrote Thunderball and Tom Jones did it. So that's why Mr. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is on this. And then it's got Diamonds Are Forever, Goldfinger and Moonraker. So apart from the fact that I'm a Bond fan, and so I wanted it because of that, Mr. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is performed by Sleeper, one of my favourite bands. I'm wearing their t-shirt as I speak, with David Gedge from it's David Gedge. I know exactly where he's from, so why is it not coming to my mind? Wedding Presents, is it? Wedding Present? Yes, from A Wedding Present. Diamonds Are Forever is done by The Left Outsides, Goldfinger by Darren Hayman, and Moonraker by DJ Downfall, featuring Theoretical Girl, whoever all those people are. Is it a no, it's not a gatefold, it's because it's 2 7-inches, as I say, on coloured vinyl. I don't know what colour, but it's just a large sleeve, it's not a gatefold. Oh, it looks like there's definitely something in there. I hope it's a download. Yes, it is. Can't get it. Oh, yes, I can. Just get it. A download card. A bit of paper, really. Okay, so disc 1 is red vinyl, transparent red again. And disc 2 is transparent blue, which is looking a lot darker on camera than it's looking with the light from it. It's a sort of a turquoisey blue, but that's not really showing. Let's see if I can get some light in. See if the sun is now behind a cloud, so no, trust me, it's a turquoisey blue. So that was it. That was my haul. There was one album that I'd offered to pick up if they had it for Kieran, who runs A Slice of Vinyl, my record shop in Gosport. Sticker there. Unfortunately, it was the June soundtrack. Unfortunately, they never got a copy in on their list of what they had and the prices. It was a waiting confirmation, and it never came in, so I couldn't get that for him. But other than that, got everything for me, which is nice. Really happy with that. Looking forward to giving them all a spin. It's not as long as I thought it was going to. Oh no, it is as long as I thought. I forgot I've done this in a couple of parts. But let me know what you picked up. Let me know if there was any there that you couldn't get, anything like that. You know, let's talk. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. Thanks. Bye.